Just kind of take out a little tour of what we got going on here. Put another little phone up here so we can get a good shot and just record the guts of this thing as it self-destructs here, which is inevitable. We've got the handy dandy little power supply over here that we're powering this amp with. So let's get to it. So 25.68 volts, 12.9 amps. Got a nice clean signal coming out of it. Go ahead and measure the rail voltage in here, see what we're looking at. So rail voltage is dropping to 21.9. At idle it's sitting around 29. So little transformer here is doing some work. It's going to be getting toasty. Oh, I see a little smoke. So we're getting hot already. Oh yeah, 118 degrees C on the power supply MOSFET. It's cooking. So something tells me that thing's going to give way here any minute. Outputs are only doing around 56, 70. Oh, current's slowly going up over here. You can see the current on the power supply. So it's getting toasty. Transformer itself's up to 81 degrees C, so 180 degrees Fahrenheit. So could almost boil some water on this transformer. Pretty toasty. It's probably hard to see, but there's definitely some smoke rolling off of these guys. So 265, yeah, that's pretty toasty. I'm going to say these MOSFETs are going to be the weak link. So we've actually died. We are no longer putting out any power, which is because the phone timed out there. So saved us in the nick of time there. Oh, there we go. Back in action. Gave it a little breather there. So we'll just keep an eye on this stuff in here. 176 on the transformer. Oh, 200. So transformer is nice and toasty. Oh yeah, it's like melting a little tape on there. So something we did here, you'll notice on this side, this thermistor that would normally shut this amp down when this stuff got too hot is it's been lifted out of the heatsink, so pretty much running no protection at all here. Just balls out, see what it'll do. It's about 183 over here on this guy. 213, 240, kind of depends on where we get the laser shining. So it's toasty. So you can see on the scope here, we're starting to clip the top of the waveform. The voltage is dropping, which means the transformer is not doing a good a job as it should be, is keeping power there, but still putting 25.3 volts AC and 12.7 amps into the dummy load. Rail voltage 21.4. can't really see any smoke coming off of them, but there's definitely some smoke rolling here in person. So I imagine it won't be too long and this thing's going to be screaming uncle here. Let's check these outputs, see what they're doing. So, outputs are pretty hot too. $190, $170. So you notice the inner one is hotter than the outer one. So this is because there's more heat concentrated towards the center there, so they're not dissipating the heat as quick. So I'm kind of surprised this little guy's lasted as long as it has, to be honest with you. So, Rockford power for you. Just never gives up. In the owner's manual, they call this thing bulletproof, basically. So, they recommend installing this thing with a 30 amp fuse. We're running at, well over 60 amps into the amp itself. Let's clamp it and check it real quick. So, there's a little off there. We're doing 58 amps into it. So a bit over that 30 amp fuse rating. Hey, it's toasty. A little oven over there. Lost our signal again. So if this thing was installed in your car, running like this, if you had something covering this amp, it would be pretty unpleasant to hang on to. Alright, so it's smoking. She just roasted. One of the power supply MOSFETs gave out. So, that's all she wrote. Dunsky, dead. Whew. And it is hot. Nice funky smell. So, 183, 209. Transformer's a nice cool 230-ish, 250. So yeah, not going to be touching that anytime soon. But yeah, this guy here, he bit the dust. Pour gas on it and light it on fire. My goal here is to not completely destroy this amp, but we're gonna take it apart and do some modifying to it, make it a little more reliable. So I'm not gonna completely trash it just yet. Man, that thing is cooking. So it's still in the 180s. It's sitting here for a couple minutes, dead now. 230s. You want me to mail that thing back to you, buddy? She's been hanging out here for a long time. I don't even know how I ended up with it. Go ahead and cut the supply, kill this thing. Let's find out what's shorted out here. Pretty sure I know the answer. So if you look at the meter here, we're going to see the resistance on this power supply MOSFET, and it's reading 1.48 ohms. It's shorted. Done for. Surprisingly, the other one is good. So we only lost one of the power supply MOSFETs. So our plan is to replace those with something a little bigger and better. So we're going to go with some FRP 064N MOSFETs for this power supply when we upgrade it, which is going to require a little bit of modification here because bring in closer. As you'll notice, get over here. That guy and that guy are slightly different in size, but we're going to be replacing those little guys with these big guys. So it'll dissipate the heat a little better. It's going to make the heatsink hotter. Heatsink only ended up getting up to about 150 degrees, whereas we were seeing, 200 plus on this side. And we're going to rewind this transformer so it's not being overworked quite so bad, so it'll run cooler. The little wire just doesn't like all that current. And then we'll come back and we will do some more testing. Probably be a day or two before I get this all cleaned up and modified to get these in there. Then we'll come back and we'll test again. So, and that power output was at 12.5 volts. So Rockford rates their amp at 14.4. So being able to get 335 watts out of this guy was not too bad, I guess, considering they claim 360 in a burst power mode dynamic, or however the manual words that. So all in all, not too bad. Felt just where I thought it was going to. Yeah, so once we replace and we go with the bigger MOSFET, we will do some fan cooling on this heatsink to keep it cooler, and we'll drive it until the outputs fail. So we'll see what kind of power we can get out of it then. But anyways, that's all for tonight. Not too exciting, I guess. No flames.